starts with Neomed Sinus Rinse. Now I can't imagine starting my day without it. All natural sinus relief.
With Alive Multivitamins by Nature's Way, you won't be defined by time. You'll own every minute of it. Discover how you can age vibrantly with Alive.
Meet baby Max and his friends. Growing up strong means getting the right nutrients. That's where Astamin C comes in, packed with essential amino acids and vitamin C to support healthy growth, brain development, strong bones and muscles, better immunity, and appetite in picky eaters. Just 7 drops a day in milk, juice, or directly by mouth. Simple, effective, and nutrient-rich. Give your little one the boost they need to thrive. Astamin C, healthy growth made easy. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Time check, courtesy Alive by Nature's Way, distributed by H&J Enterprises Limited.
Good evening and welcome. You're watching the 7 o'clock news on CNC3. I'm Ria Rambali.
I'm Akash Samaru.
I'm Jasper Baruch with sport.
And I'm Jamak Rampasad with your weather.
Let's tell you what's making the news tonight. NGC turns off gas supply to Nutrien, effectively signaling the end of the multinational's time in TNT.
With hours to go before traffic fines double, Works Minister says law-abiding citizens have nothing to fear.
Former Housing Minister slams government's plan to regularize HGC squatters.
Coming up in sport, former West Indies wicketkeeper Derek Murray leads the appeal against Kishore Shallow's duality as CWI president and St. Vincent government minister.
Conditions should be mostly fair for the new year. I'll have the details in tonight's weather report.
Top of the news. It's official. After 45 years in Trinidad and Tobago, fertilizer giant Nutrien is shutting down.
At midnight, the National Gas Company will cut its gas supply to its Point Lisas plant, signaling the end of operations and leaving hundreds of workers facing termination.
Kijan Haynes has been following this story.
Has moved to cut gas supply to Nutrien at Point Lisas, a step that could bring an end to the fertilizer producer's 45-year presence in Trinidad and Tobago. The NGC issued a formal notice to Nutrien today saying all gas meter runs to the Point Lisas facility will be isolated from midnight, essentially shutting off the valves. Guardian Media understands the gas supply contracts expire on January 1st and access to the port facilities will also be withdrawn. Now, NGC in its letter warned that failure to settle disputed port user fees would be treated as confirmation that the company no longer wished to operate in the country. But Nutrien maintains that all invoiced port user fees have been paid and they reject any claims of outstanding obligations. Now, speaking to Guardian Media on Tuesday, Dr. Rudal Munilal, Energy Minister, said talks were ongoing.
They have taken decisions in relation to global markets and so on, and we wish them all the best. We are still in touch with the Nutrien people concerning Trinidad and Tobago. They have still expressed a commitment to work with us and to invest in Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, so they're staying.
But they have expressed an interest in investing and working with us.
Now, as for staff, workers are expected to be formally advised of their termination beginning next week. Our sources say approximately 400 permanent employees and about 100 contractors remain attached to the operation, but 350 contract workers were sent home on October 25th. Guardian Media has reached out to Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar, NGC Chairman Gerald Ramdeen, and Minister of Energy Dr. Rudal Munilal for comment. Only Dr. Munilal acknowledged our questions, but still did not give a response. Kijan Haynes, CNC3 News.
To some other news now, with no increase in Maxi taxi fares, operators are questioning why they've come under criticism.
The operators were recently rebuked by Kamala Persad-Bissessar, who said the recent increase in the bus route fee was negligible and should not be passed on to commuters. However, CNC3 News was told by the Route 2 Maxi Taxi Association that no decision has been taken to raise fares, and President of the association, Brenton Knights, said their position has nothing to do with what he called the Prime Minister's irrational additional threat to open the bus route to all. Meanwhile, Association of Maxi Taxis President Ian Hewitt referred us to a bulletin issued on December 29th, which also confirmed no fare increase has been approved. Hewitt said the association is yet to issue a full response to the Prime Minister, but for now, he said the association hears Prasad Bisesa, but they do not understand her.
Meanwhile, opposition leader Penelope Beckles believes the Prime Minister has irresponsibly attacked maxi taxi drivers. Beckles said the associations have called for consultation on the PBR fee increase, and the Prime Minister should remember that on the day of her inauguration, she promised to communicate with the people. The opposition leader said a $2,400 annual fee for maxi taxi drivers is not a trivial sum, and she's calling on the Prime Minister to approach this matter with care and compassion. With new traffic penalties taking effect tomorrow, Works and Infrastructure Minister Julian John says law-abiding drivers have nothing to fear. The minister was responding to complaints by some members of the public that roads are still riddled with potholes while fines are increasing. The minister told reporters during a visit to Piparo that people cannot vote for change and expect exchange. She says everyone will agree that better needs to be done, and she's encouraging motorists to obey the law.
What comes first, the chicken or the egg, right? I know people drive dangerously. Some people, not everybody. I want to argue that the majority of the population are very law-abiding citizens, and the few that tend to lean towards recklessness, we can't allow them to spoil the place for everybody else. Because I think if we all will agree that we could do better.
The minister stressed that change requires leadership and responsibility, and that the government is moving to improve road conditions through a community pothole program, which will be rolled out by mid-January.
We are not only going to pick our pothole, you're going into the community, and we have the data. So in some communities, you have 2,000 potholes, right? We know. So if you have 2,000 potholes, we're coming in to patch 2,000 potholes. Every community in this country, none is immune. Right? The roads are in a terrible condition, right? I mean, you could keep looking back in your rearview mirror, and we admit it's a mess, but now it is my mess, good? And basically it's my responsibility to solve that problem.
The minister also described the death of 8-year-old Gideon Smart, who was crushed by a runaway truck, as heartbreaking, as she urged drivers to be more mindful on the road.
She also noted the government will be clamping down on littering. Well, from January 1st, passport fees in Trinidad and Tobago are increasing under new immigration regulations. An adult machine-readable passport will now cost $500 from $250, with higher fees for lost, damaged, or special passports. Expired or misplaced passports will also attract new charges, and expedited or emergency passports will cost an additional $600 from $300. The changes came into effect as part of the Immigration Amendment Regulations 2025. Meanwhile, there's no increase in fees for driver's permit renewals. The Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation refuted claims of a hike in renewal fees. A post on social media suggested that legislative amendments were made increasing fees by more than 100%. However, the ministry labeled the post as fake. Currently, the fee to renew a driver's permit for 5 years is $500, while a 10-year renewal costs $1,000. Well, still to come in the news, Minister says major roadworks not possible in Piparo at this time, with repairs estimated to cost almost $20 million. And coming up in sport, opposing parties share their hopes for an amicable end to the latest impasse in local cycling.
At Bagwansing's Port of Spain and Chagonas, we are committed to providing quality products for all major building projects. Let's build together with rebars and beams, BRC coils and mats, RHS and angles, roofing sheets and purlins, lumber, plywood and MDF. Bagwansing's, building homes, building communities, building TNT for over 60 years. Bagwansing's Port of Spain and Chagonas, building value every day.
Works and Infrastructure Minister Jolene John says while some access has been restored in Piparo, a complete reconstruction of the damaged roadway isn't possible at this time.
The main access road was made impassable when the Piparo mud volcano erupted on Christmas Eve. During an early morning visit to the site, Minister John assessed ongoing works which restored limited access to residents, reconnecting them to the Guayaguayari, Tabakit Road and the Piparo Road. But ongoing seismic activity continues to affect the integrity of the roadway. Minister John says government will put the necessary measures in place if the site becomes too dangerous, making relocation necessary.
Although the residents are asking for complete restoration, we can't chance it because just looking at this job as it is here will be about $20 million. It might look small, but it's significant engineering that will have to go on here. We can't commit to that kind of money until we know what is happening. So we are really trying, and we use a lot of in-house resources to restore. The only thing we may go out for, there's a Bailey Bridge lower down that concerns the ministry. We may have to do some procurement for that one.
Now, 63-year-old resident Sybil Badal says the damage to the road is a major concern, especially with school reopening next week.
My daughter-in-law had to take her husband, drop him down well to get a vehicle to go to work, come back now and take up her children now to go back to drop them to school. So it's like the big circle she has to make twice, every Monday to Friday. It will be hard for she, real hard. And then she can't get up the time she's going to before she get up a lot earlier. It will be really hard for you.
Minister John spoke with Badal this morning and viewed the damage to her property.
She was accompanied by a team from her ministry, Princestown MP Dr. Aina Ali, chairman of the Princestown and Couva Tabakit Paro Regional Corporations. The mud volcano remains active.
Former Housing Minister Camille Robinson-Regis is questioning if the HDC and by extension the government is rewarding law-breaking through plans to regularize squatters occupying units. Robinson-Regis says it is ironic that after the Prime Minister criticized the country for being a lawless dump, HDC Chairman Feroz Khan made a decision to aid lawbreakers. The former housing minister says in many instances these squatters have forcibly removed legitimate tenants, and this move would be unfair to those who applied for homes through legitimate means. On Tuesday, CNC3 News reported that Housing Minister David Lee said the HDC will need cabinet approval before it can put the regularization of squatters into action. The minister, who was initially unaware of the development, said no policy decision has been made and a board meeting will be held on January 2nd.
The PNM's Tobago Council leader, Ansel Dennis, is claiming that the Tobago House of Assembly wasted $10 million on what he's calling election billboards. At a PNM political meeting on Monday, Dennis said the current THA administration had absolutely nothing to show for its time in office and the $13 billion allocated over the years. He accused the THA of resorting to now unveiling signs just days before the January 12th election. Around 5 large billboards have been erected across the island over the past week.
And therefore, an administration that could deliver nothing to you for 4 years, on the cusp of an election, is prepared today, the 30th day of December in the year 2025, 14 days before an election. They were quite prepared to join together and to cut a ribbon to reveal to you the people of Tobago a sign.
But Dennis asked voters to consider performance and accountability ahead of Election Day, saying after 4 years of zero progress, the current THA does not deserve another term. Chief Secretary Farley Augustine could not be reached for comment. Well, the central bank, in its monetary policy announcement, is signaling a fragile economic recovery, with gains in the energy sector failing to fully support the wider economy.
Meanwhile, the TNT Chamber of Industry and Commerce is raising concerns over recent increases in customs and port-related fees.
Andrea Perez-Sobers has more in tonight's Business Watch.
Despite improved natural gas production from new fields coming on stream, the central bank says economic growth remains tentative. In its December monetary policy assessment, the bank points to a noticeable slowdown in non-energy business activity linked in part to uncertainty created by ongoing tensions between the United States and Venezuela. While the impact of U.S. tariff measures introduced in April appears to have eased, the central bank says confidence in the domestic business environment has been shaken. The Monetary Policy Committee also highlights recent improvements in foreign reserves, noting that balances have stabilized above US $5 billion. However, it warns that given TNT's heavy reliance on imports, reserve remains a key area for close monitoring. Taking all factors into account, including low inflation and uneven growth, the committee decided to maintain the repo rate at 3.50%. Turning to other business news, TNT Chamber of Industry and Commerce CEO Vashti Gaidin says fee increases without corresponding service improvement places added strain on an already challenged business environment. Gaidin told Business Watch that micro, small and medium-sized enterprises are especially vulnerable as they have less capacity to absorb rising operating costs.
As part of our continued advocacy for a competitive and resilient trade environment, the TT Chamber is actively engaging with our members to develop a comprehensive impact assessment of all recent and proposed cost increases affecting the ease of doing business. This assessment will inform ongoing dialogue and public sector stakeholders and ensure that policy decisions support national productivity and competitiveness.
Legal notice number 472 issued under the Customs Act increases the standard customs fee from $40 to $80. Fees at the container examination station are also being raised, with one category increasing from $375 to $750 and another from $525 to $1,050. And now for a look at today's energy and foreign exchange prices. Andrea Perez-Sobers, CNC3 Business Watch.
Well, still to come in the news, criminologist says crime fighting requires social work over legislating behavior.
We had a sunny start to the day with some afternoon showers developing over Tobago and southwestern areas of Trinidad, but now conditions are mostly fair. I'll have the forecast coming up just after the break.
A mortgage is what helps you turn your dream of owning a home into reality. First Citizens helps you plan for every other cost, such as insurance, maintenance, and utilities. Mortgages build equity, offer long-term investment, and give you freedom to make the space yours. First Citizens is here to help you understand your first steps to a mortgage. First Citizens.
Plumbing problems? Don't guess. Call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646. Proud to be serving Trinidad and Tobago for over 20 years. We do it all. Maintenance and repairs, new construction, sewer lines, inspection, drain cleaning, leak detection. We are licensed and insured. So call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646.
At Guardian General Insurance, we know your home is more than just a building. It's where your family feels safe and where memories are made. That's why we're here to protect not just your house, but the people and dreams inside it. We are your partner, working alongside you to provide the right protection, the right support, and the peace of mind you deserve. With Guardian General Insurance, you can live safe, live easy.
Only BioStrath gives your body more than 60 of the essential nutrients it needs every day in a product that's 100% natural for stronger immunity, enhanced focus, increased energy and stamina. BioStrath. Get what you need naturally.
Step into the new year with style and comfort with JD's exclusive unbeatable fashions for going back to work at unbelievable prices. Plus all the accessories. JD's exclusive, Princestown, San Fernando, Rio Claro, Gasparilla Mall, and M6 Plaza Chaguanas. Your low price headquarters, JD's.
Welcome back. A 40-year-old man named Gary Griffith, not the former police commissioner, was shot dead last night in Taruba.
He was walking along Derek Murray Drive, not far from his home, shortly before 11 p.m. when a white Nissan Tida pulled alongside and occupants opened fire.
They fled the scene and Griffith was pronounced dead at the San Fernando General Hospital.
Well, a 47-year-old Laventil man was shot dead while driving into his yard last night.
Sean McLean of Upper Wharton Street, Laventil and Paris Boulevard, Morva, was shot multiple times around 8:55 p.m. Reports indicate McLean left home around 7:45 to go to the grocery. Upon his return just over an hour later, gunshots were heard coming from outside.
Upon checking, his wife found his black Kia Rio crashed into a wall and McLean was slumped over the steering wheel.
And a 26-year-old man is killed in Tobago. He has been identified as Jerome Woods, a sanitation worker attached to the Division of Health. Police say his body was found in his community of Delaford today. He was shot multiple times. About the body, police are yet to confirm a motive. In 2024, Tobago recorded 26 murders, most of them firearm-related. This year, 10 were recorded.
With 366 murders recorded for this year, a significant drop from last year, criminologist Dr. Randy C. Prasad is urging government to address crime not only with the police and the courts, but through more societal engagement. Dr. C. Prasad told CNT3 News past administrations have been overly reliant on trying to legislate behavior. He believes dealing with the root causes of crime is needed for meaningful change.
We consistently leave the drivers of the problem in place. And I mentioned some talks with the United Nations and the government that happened very, very recently. And this is exactly what they were focusing on, you know, and recognizing the importance of issues in the family and in the community and the very serious issue of unemployment.
Dr. C. Prasad is confident that government will be able to mobilize a crime-fighting strategy once the ongoing SOE is lifted next year, referring to current policies, which he says have the potential to yield even greater benefits.
Well, that was a lot of heavy crime news leading into the weather segments. So, Jama, can you pick up our mood again and give us some good news? What are we in for?
Yes,
2026?
we'll definitely have some clear conditions tonight to enjoy some of the fireworks outside and relatively dry conditions heading into the new year. But first, I want to recap some of the main events of 2025. Now, looking at the grand scheme of things, this year was a bit less active than usual locally, especially compared to 2024. We didn't have any close calls with cyclones like we did with Hurricane Beryl last year, but we did have a few instances of flooding. So let's take a look at some of the main weather events of 2025. The dry season was declared on January 14th, and there weren't any major concerns for that period, of drought for that period. So the blue bars are for 2025, and the gray are what we would normally expect in terms of rainfall. January was wetter than usual, with February and March slightly dry, but the uptick in rainfall began in April, and the wet season was then declared on May 19th, which was triggered by rainfall from the ITCZ. And the rainy season started off with a bang, as we had nearly twice our average amount of rainfall for May and June, with flooding in the second week, mainly within the Caroni River Basin. The remainder of the season produced normal rainfall totals, but there were a few events in mid-October for Diwali, late November, and early December. However, the most notable weather phenomenon was the West Moorings tornado on October 7th. The feature started as as a waterspout then moved onto land, damaging 16 homes and left about 200 customers without power until late that night. Now, as we transition into the 2026 dry season, the Met Office expects a wetter than normal start, followed by dry conditions as usual. Now, onto the current conditions. Nothing much to our east, just a few small patches of clouds, which will give us the odd shower during the early morning tomorrow. So the forecast for tonight, mostly clear with the low chance of a brief early morning shower over eastern Trinidad. Overnight lows of 21 in Trinidad and 24 in Tobago. Tomorrow, the sunny conditions continue with an even lower chance of showers, just the odd one during the afternoon, and we'll have a warm high of 31 degrees Celsius. Sea conditions are still moderate, with waves in open waters around 2 meters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. Winds out of the east at about 15 knots. Now looking ahead, a few brief showers on Friday, but mostly dry conditions over the weekend. Highs around 31 to 32 degrees and lows at a cool 22 degrees Celsius as usual. Now, we'll have the great weather conditions for the next couple of days, but if it's one thing to remember heading into the new year, just before midnight, remember to raise your left leg.
Why?
To start the year on the right foot.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. I enjoyed your weather year in review.
Thank you.
I thought it was quite innovative. And of course, you know, our students, they're home for the rest of this week.
Yeah.
School resumes next week, so they'll be looking forward to some good weather.
Yes.
Pick up our book. Sorry. That's the uncle and Mickey Mouse.
Thank you, Uncle Akash and Uncle Jean-Marc. Let's take a break, but before we do, still to come in the news, just in time for the new year, 5 food myths you should leave behind in 2025.
Level up your home this Christmas at Arima Door Center. Grab a chandelier for $900 or LED bathroom mirror just $700. Purchase a stylish vanity for $1,750. We're at number 4 Cleaver Road, Arima. Open every day, including Sundays. Call us at 642-3509 today. Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, and roti makers. Try our high-quality bromate-free, all-purpose, and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg, and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisho Limited, quality you can trust.
Struggling with blood sugar swings, high blood pressure, or stiff joints? Take control with Aja Nutrition's powerful wellness trio. Berberine Plus supports healthy blood sugar. Blood pressure support helps keep your pressure in check. And Joint Aid keeps your joints moving so you can stay active every day. Don't wait. Choose Aja Nutrition for trusted, effective solutions. Available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Feel better, move better, live better with Aja Nutrition.
Ever wonder how the way you start your day can make all the difference? Tired of waking up struggling with congestion? Without NeilMed Sinus Rinse, you are likely to battle with nasal congestion, impacting energy levels and overall well-being. The choice is clear. A great morning starts with NeilMed Sinus Rinse. Now I can't imagine starting my day without it. All natural sinus relief.
Welcome back. For some people, the new year brings with it new health goals.
But experts say wrong food choices are made every day because of certain misconceptions.
In this Wellness Wednesday, Bhavita Gopalchan has 5 food myths to leave behind in 2025.
Wellness Wednesday, brought to you by BioStrath. Get what you need naturally.
From social media to well-meaning friends, food trends can spread like fire, and they're not always true.
As anyone who's tried any food trend, it's not a one-size-fits-all.
Registered dietitian Julia Zampano with Cleveland Clinic. The first common myth: to lose weight, you have to give up all your favorite foods.
Maybe you have it a little less often, at a smaller portion, but I think all foods can fit into a plan.
Next, avoid grain products when trying to lose weight. Well, that's false. Zampano says it's a matter of how much of those you're eating, what you're pairing them with, and how you prepare them.
It's most important just to choose whole grains and a very balanced diet.
Third, going gluten-free is healthier. Zampano says if you have a gluten sensitivity, then yes, avoid gluten. But she says that does not equal weight loss.
Gluten-free products are pretty much the same product like bread, but just made with a flour that doesn't have that protein in it.
Fourth, avoid all fats to lose weight. Again, false. Zampano says fat is essential to our bodies, but she says to limit the intake and focus on eating healthy fats. Finally, going vegetarian helps you lose weight and be healthier. That's a myth. While plant-based diets are healthy, simply avoiding meat doesn't necessarily equate to healthier outcomes.
You may not be meeting your protein needs, your calcium needs, or other nutrient needs. Make sure you get all your nutrient needs by the food choices you're making.
One more myth that Zampano says she often hears is that dairy products are fattening and unhealthy. She says that's false because it's an important food group providing needed nutrients. But she says, like everything else, keeping portions of dairy products controlled. And for those who can't tolerate dairy, choose alternatives. Bhavita Gopalchan, CNC3 News.
Wellness Wednesday, brought to you by BioStrath. Get what you need naturally.
How do you feel about that, Captain Gluten-Free?
I'm still going to avoid gluten. Thanks for the advice.
Thank you very much, Bhavita. Well, we tend to start a new year with good intentions, setting goals for ourselves like losing weight or saving more money.
But experts say weeks later, many give up and fall back into unhealthy habits.
In this Wellness Wednesday, Soini Gray has tips on how to make your 2026 resolution stick.
Wellness Wednesday, brought to you by BioStrath. Get what you need naturally.
It's almost another year and you may have another resolution, or maybe it's the same goal you tried but weren't able to achieve in years past. Kenny Tello with Orlando Health says the best step to making resolutions stick is to have a plan. Map out each step and the resources needed to accomplish your goals. Next, he says not to rely solely on motivation.
Motivation helps us begin, but then motivation actually fades.
Instead, Tello says to develop discipline. Do that by starting small. If your goal is to exercise more, start out by going on a 20-minute walk after lunch or dinner. Maybe aim for 2 or 3 times a week and add more as you get stronger.
Just making it sustainable, making it easy, making it attractive for you as well.
Tello says to also have a support system, friends and family who can get involved and encourage you. And finally, Tello says attach your resolution to a higher purpose or a deeper sense of meaning.
I'm a father and I want to be here for my daughter. So therefore, I want to be healthy.
Soini Gray, CNC3 News.
Wellness Wednesday, brought to you by BioStrath. Get what you need naturally.
Any New Year resolutions you like to share, Akash?
I don't want to share it anymore because you laughed at me before we came back, and now I don't want to share it.
I definitely like to exercise some more, be more consistent with that.
Yeah, I really liked what Soini put in that story there, where he wants to be healthier for his children. Mm-hmm. So it's not just a 2026 decision he's making, but as a lifestyle decision he's making.
Like a personal manifesto.
Yeah,
I like it. All right, well, it's time to hand you over now to Jassy. Jassy, as the year comes to a close, the Africa Cup of Nations continues to serve up gems.
Yes, it is, Ria. And, of course, after the break, we'll have highlights from match day 3, including this goal of the tournament contender. Stick around. We'll also have some highlights from the NBA. LeBron James joins another record club, but the Lakers suffer their 4th defeat in 5.
Only BioStrath gives your body more than 60 of the essential nutrients it needs every day in a product that's 100% natural for stronger immunity, enhanced focus, increased energy and stamina. BioStrath. Get what you need naturally.
Plumbing problems? Don't guess. Call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646. Proud to be serving Trinidad and Tobago for over 20 years. We do it all. Maintenance and repairs, new construction, sewer lines, inspection, drain cleaning, leak detection. We are licensed and insured. So call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646.
You can make your goals unfold.
Let's do this. You can get the help you need to succeed with Rand Credit Union. You can believe that you can achieve. Big goals, small ones too. Rand Credit Union, we've got you. No more waiting, that won't do. Make someday today. One life, so make it good. Live the way you know you should. With Rand Credit Union, yes you could. Make someday today.
Live your best life today with Rand Credit Union.
Dress like you mean business. At The Working Woman, we bring you stylish, professional looks made for the modern woman. From casual to formal workwear, we've got your professional wardrobe covered.
Welcome back. It's time for sport now. Former West Indies wicketkeeper and Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board President Derek Murray has called for Cricket West Indies President Dr. Kishore Shallow to resign and for the CWI board to be disbanded. Jovan Ravello reports.
Dr. Kishore Shallow won the North Leeward seat in the recent St. Vincent and the Grenadines general election and has since decided to see out the rest of his term at the helm of the CWI. Dr. Shallow was first elected to the post in 2023 and ran unopposed to a second consecutive term in February 2025. He is expected to serve as president until 2028. The decision was said to be unanimous at the board level. However, Murray presented a dissenting opinion.
To have the president of the West Indies Cricket Board, CWI, whatever you call it, and a functioning Minister of Government, especially one who has two portfolios. He has a portfolio of tourism and he has a portfolio of marine affairs. He cannot do that job.
Murray says it would be kind to call the current CWI board dysfunctional and that it's time to reassess the CWI's efficacy as outlined in previous reports.
The West Indies board, the personnel of the board at the moment has to remove itself peacefully, amicably, and to allow a change to take place to salvage West Indies cricket. Disband the West Indies Cricket Board, the CWI, as it currently exists and functions, and have an interim committee, 5 or 6 people who are going to work with those 3 reports. And there have been others, but let's focus on those 3 reports that call for governance reform.
He says regional leaders must be involved in this reform effort, in which talent development from primary school into the test team must be a major focus. The West Indies has lost 7 of its last 8 test matches, and Murray says despite the joy he felt watching the drawn test versus New Zealand, the picture remains pretty bleak.
It's very depressing, Andrew, and really it's almost expected. You have to look at everything as one. You can't be doing things piecemeal, etc. And basically, that's what's happening in West Indies cricket at the moment. It's preserve the status quo, and if you want to preserve the status quo, I think the future of West Indies cricket is going to go along the same lines it is. If you keep doing the same thing over and over, you're going to get the same result.
The former West Indies wicketkeeper said while positive signs may convince dedicated West Indies fans that we are turning a corner, the state of the regional game is more akin to a roundabout. But it wasn't all doom and gloom. Murray also took the opportunity to share his positive affirmations for the West Indies under-19s headed to the U19 World Cup in mid-January.
Yes, we want them to win. It sounds like people will settle for them reaching the semi-finals, but I want them to do the best they can and make the West Indies proud.
Jovan Ravello, CNC3 Sport.
Well, after yesterday's virtual High Court hearing surrounding the Trinidad and Tobago Cycling Federation's January 17th National Pan American Track Championship trials, both sides remain tentative. In a phone interview today, cyclist Jacine Phillips says, upon instruction by High Court Judge Justice Westman James, lawyers for him and fellow elite cyclists Alexi Costa Ramirez and Macaira Wallace are reviewing the proposal put forward by the TTCF. However, Philip did not hide his disappointment with the entire situation.
It's still pending, between the lawyers and everything with the court. So, I mean, I really wouldn't want to comment on it right now, but I mean, I don't know. It's kind of difficult right now to say, because I mean, we still haven't really come to a settlement or agreement that, that we could reach somewhere in between. It's a bit unfortunate right now, actually. We should come to agreement by sometime by the end of this week.
Cycling Federation President Rowena Williams, meanwhile, says the situation is unprecedented in local cycling, adding that the Federation previously consulted with all cyclists on the...
It's ready. The Federation is standing for.
It's widening the focus a bit wider now. Regionally renowned Jamaican sports journalist and broadcaster Donald Oliver has passed away.
The sporting and media fraternity is mourning the sudden passing of respected sports journalist and broadcaster Donald Oliver. Oliver, who spent more than 2 decades in sports media, worked with RJR, CVM, and most notably Sportsmax, where he served as senior producer and became one of the Caribbean's most recognizable football commentators.
Well, here's Holy Trinity trying to capitalize. Oh, that's driven in! What a strike that is! Roy Evelyn! Oh, my word!
Known for his commanding voice, sharp analysis, and passion for the game, Oliver was widely regarded as one of the region's finest commentators, especially in schoolboy and international football. Former Sportsmax executive Tanya Lee Perkins paid tribute, saying Donald was top class. He brought a high standard to everything he touched and took pride in magnifying every moment. Donald Oliver was 40 years old. And in the Jamaican Premier League, Tivoli Gardens bounced back from recent losses with a 2-0 win over Chapelton Maroons. Radico Wellington opened the scoring in the 32nd minute before substitute Justin Dunn sealed the victory in added time. Samaki Felician, CNC3 Sports.
AFCON champions Ivory Coast survived the scare to remain unbeaten in the group stage of this year's edition. Here's again Jovan Ravello with those highlights and more.
In Group E, Algeria had their way with Equatorial Guinea. Anis Haj Musa with a pitch-perfect corner for Zinedine Belaid to open the scoring 19 minutes in. In the 25th, Ibrahim Matza set the table for Shaibi, and he feasted on the Guinean defenders before roofing the second. In full flow, Algeria's mazy attack kept Guinea chasing shadows. Haj Musa's brilliant delivery again needing just a touch, and Matza this time got his goal, Chrome after 32. Up against it, Equatorial Guinea had a glimmer of hope 5 minutes into the second. Emilio Nsue with a banger from way out. However, too little too late as Algeria finished top with a 3-1 win and a perfect record. Holders Cote d'Ivoire had a bit of a fight on their hands against the bottom of the table Gabon. Guelo Kanga gate crashing the rebound to put Gabon ahead 1-0 in the 11th. Determined to leave Morocco with something, the Gabonese continued to threaten, and 10 minutes later Dennis Bouanga picked his spot 2-0 in the 21st. But the defending champs eventually got it together. 44th minute and Wilfred Zaha put it on a platter for Jean-Philippe Crasso. He halved the deficit and they eventually rallied to a 3-2 win on the back of goals from Evan Guessand and Banzoumana Touré in the 84th and 90+1 to advance top of Group F. Jovan Ravello, CNC3 Sport.
In more international news, King James's birthday party got crashed and a teenage jockey makes history. The Detroit Pistons crashed LeBron James's 41st birthday celebrations last night in a 128-106 victory over the LA Lakers. Cade Cunningham scored 27 points for the Pistons, who now remain top of the Eastern Conference with 25 wins from 33 games. Luka Doncic registered 30 points and 11 assists for the Lakers, with James, the NBA's all-time leading scorer, adding 17. While the birthday ended in defeat, King James can also take consolation in becoming just the 12th NBA player in history to compete at the age of 41 or older. In cricket, Barbadian-born England cricketers Jofra Archer and Jacob Bethel have been named in England's 15-man provisional squad for the 2026 ICC T20 World Cup to be co-hosted by India and Sri Lanka from February to March. Archer earned selection despite suffering a side strain during the third Ashes test earlier this month, which ruled him out of the remainder of the ongoing series. There is confidence, however, that the fast bowler will be fully fit in time for the World Cup, although he returned to Barbados on Boxing Day to continue his recovery under the close watch of the England medical team. And now to the sport of kings. Teenage Irish jockey Billy Loughnan has broken the record for the most wins in a calendar year this century. Loughnan equaled the previous record of 221 at Wolverhampton on Tuesday and took the victory in the mile handicap at Lingfield Park, Surrey, England today. The 19-year-old landed the record win in his third ride out of 5 in his final meeting of the year. And to end things off, a redemption arc straight out of a comic book is tonight's Sport High. Already booted out of the AFCON, Equatorial Guinea didn't go with a whimper thanks to captain Emilio Insue. Cast away by his birth country Spain, Insue's 51 goals for Guinea were all wiped away last year when FIFA deemed that his switch of allegiance was incomplete.
Where did that come from? A rocket.
But now, let the record show his first official goal for the African nation was an absolute scorcher, and the 2025 New Year's Eve CNC3 Sport High.
Nice high to end the year on.
Yeah. They just took away 51 goals.
51 goals because FIFA deemed that he had not been officially registered to represent them. And the funny thing is, he was actually the top scorer at the last AFCON tournament. So all of those goals are gone. But if he never scores another in his career, that one will be one to be proud of.
He made our high.
Yeah, he did.
All right, thank you so much, Jassy. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Meet baby Max and his friends. Growing up strong means getting the right nutrients. That's where Astamin C comes in, packed with essential amino acids and vitamin C to support healthy growth, brain development, strong bones and muscles, better immunity, and appetite in picky eaters. Just 7 drops a day in milk, juice, or directly by mouth. Simple, effective, and nutrient-rich. Give your little one the boost they need to thrive. Astamin C, healthy growth made easy. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Plumbing problems? Don't guess. Call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646. Proud to be serving Trinidad and Tobago for over 20 years. We do it all. Maintenance and repairs, new construction, sewer lines, inspection, drain cleaning, leak detection. We are licensed and insured. So call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The message of peace and harmony. The name Islam literally means peace, amity, and concord. It is therefore the desire of the message of peace and harmony to highlight the true essence of the teachings of Islam. Hence, a weekly TV program on Fridays on CNC3 at 5:30 a.m. Love for all, hatred for none. Assalamu alaikum.
This is more than just music. This is where you find the best of TNT. This is more than just a vibe. This is where Bollywood gets a twist. This is more than just energy. This is Bhangra and indie pop too. This is the mix. This is the life. Lock on or log on now. Sangeet 106.1 FM. This is authentic East Indian radio. This is us.
Some of us like to test limits, but there won't always be second chances. Obey the speed limits. Maybe you don't value your life, but others value theirs. A message from the TTPS.
In this season of giving and sharing, the season where we show love and care to family and friends, we take this opportunity to wish you and yours a happy and holy Christmas and a prosperous and purpose-filled new year. May your season be filled with hope, love, and peace. And may your new year be bright, prosperous, and successful. Season's greetings to you from our family at Guardian Media Limited.
Well, despite the bitter cold, people from all over the world are converging on Times Square in New York City to ring in the new year.
CNN correspondent Leigh Waldman took to the streets of New York to speak to visitors about their favorite moments of 2025 and what they're excited about for 2026.
Despite the cold,
we got 4 layers on, feeling good.
The New Year's Eve revelers are fired up.
Happy New Year! It's out of our comfort zone. We just decided we're getting older. We need to start doing things, you know? Life passes by so quickly.
From all corners of the world, people are taking in the bright lights and this year's brand new crystal LED illuminated ball. Either ready to stake out their spot in Times Square,
I hear you have to wear a diaper. Looking forward to
or avoid the bustling crowds altogether during the ball drop.
Because it's chaos. There's way too many people, thousands of people.
In addition to the performers, visitors, and New Yorkers alike, the men and women of the New York Police Department are making their presence known during the city's biggest night. Officers, canines, helicopters, boats, and drones will be deployed to ensure a safe celebration.
Times Square is one of the largest and the most complex public safety operations anywhere in the world, and one the NYPD has secured successfully for decades.
As we enter the final hours of 2025, reflecting on the moments that made an impact.
My favorite moment is I met my girlfriend this year.
Spending time with my family and friends.
All the new friends I've made and all the memories.
We're ready for all that lies ahead in 2026.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
In Times Square, I'm Leigh Waldman.
Well, as you know already, a new year begins tomorrow, and with it, familiar messages of hope, renewal, and resolve.
Across the political divide, leaders used New Year's Day to strike a reassuring tone, offering optimism after a year marked by economic pressure, crime, and regional uncertainty.
Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Barry Padaurath, called for national cohesion to remain the government's guiding principle, expressing hope that in a World Cup year, the country can find common ground by rallying through sport.
I wish to see the greatest of all times, Lionel Messi, lift the World Cup trophy in triumph. For Trinidad and Tobago, I wish for a more progressive, law-abiding society that wants a better quality of life for themselves and their children. I wish for society to adopt a greater standard of guiding principles so that we are not consumed by road rage, alcohol consumption, drug blocks, and living for today while forgetting about tomorrow.
For Geraldine John, the message centered on resilience, acknowledging challenges while encouraging unity and shared responsibility.
That we are cleaner, we are safer, we are more prosperous, and we are happier people. And we are indeed our brother's keeper.
While the Prime Minister did not wish for anything, she told CNC3 News when she has a goal, she works hard to make it happen and never gives up. Her plan is to keep pushing to accomplish the UNC's manifesto promises and commence projects outlined in the Blueprint Revitalization Plan. From the opposition bench, Marvin Gonzalez framed the year ahead as a test of leadership and accountability, calling for stronger governance and clearer direction.
As chairman of the movement,
I call on all of us to approach the coming months with a renewed spirit of unity and solidarity. Let us engage constructively, support one another, and place the collective interest above all else. Differences of opinion are natural, but they must always be guided by discipline, dialogue, and a commitment to our shared goals.
Opposition leader Penelope Beckles pressed for stronger governance and political accountability. She said her wish for the year ahead is a fairer, more responsive government, one that puts people first and places the national interest above all else. She also argued that many citizens are hoping for an early general election, saying the new year should give the public the opportunity to chart a different course for the country. Meanwhile, Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West MP Stuart Young struck a similar chord, urging citizens to reject division and heat in all its forms. He warned against being pushed toward hostility, whether toward neighbors, Caribbean people, or the country itself, arguing that disagreement does not cancel belonging. Young also pushed back at the Prime Minister's claim that TNT was a lawless dump, describing it instead as a flawed but beautiful home, rich with promise and potential. Patriotic Front leader Michaela Pandey closed the New Year messages on a grounded note, centering her wishes on everyday fairness and economic relief. She said her hope for the year ahead is that families can make it through each month without constant financial strain, that workers feel their efforts are valued, and that young people believe they can build a future at home. Doris Polo, CNC3 News.
And with just a few hours before the new year, we asked you, what is your wish for 2026?
Here's what you had to say.
For everyone to be prosperous and healthy and strength and everything else.
Health, strength, and everything for the new year. Hefty cash.
Health, strength, lots of money, and peace.
My New Year's wish is what everybody wishes for. Peace and goodwill, love, abundant love.
My wish is for my health and strength and for a better country.
My New Year's wish is for the government to fulfill their promise. And not what they're trying to do right now for the poor people.
Well, resolutions aside, there are some traditions people like to do every Old Year's night with the belief that they will help them set the new year right.
Here are some of the things you'll be doing to ring in the new year.
We bake a ham, right? We sit down together as a family, right? And we go to church, right? And that's how we do our thing.
Make the black-eyed pilau and stay home.
I don't enjoy doing it, but at some point you had to eat black-eyed peas. I don't know where that tradition come from. I don't know. They say it's good luck, and my family's kind of forced us to eat it, so it's like, yeah.
I go to church for this hour and then go back home.
Most likely, I will just come together, the family, and say a little prayer and giving thanks for making it through the year.
Understood.
Yeah, that's all, basically.
Understood. Thank you so much.
Don't go nowhere, don't party.
I'm from Russia. I'm an engineer from ship.
Okay.
So tradition, what is party of family, like usually. It's New Year tree, decorate. That's all. People enjoy.
Understood.
Happy New Year.
Interesting. Any Old Year traditions? Old Year to New Year traditions?
Forming new traditions, and just like some of those people, staying home and just being very meditative.
Yeah, spending time with family and keeping it grounded. Yeah,
exactly,
like
just spend it with family. That's the tradition.
Yeah, quiet start to the New Year is how I like to do it, and also eating that pilau. I had it today.
Yeah, excited for some pilau later too.
Well, in just 4 hours, we will ring in the new year, but other countries are already in 2026. Let's leave you with some scenes of how they welcomed the new year.
And here's wishing you and your family a happy and prosperous new year.
With the best of health.
And may your homes be always filled with love.
watching CNC3.
The Rundown is a news and political satire TV show inspired by real news events. This show is a source of parody, satire, humor, and is for entertainment purposes only.
Hey, a very good evening to one and all, and welcome to The Rundown here on CNC3. Let me start by saying season's greetings to all that are, they're viewing and so on. I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas. And of course, we're gearing up into a new year, which will be 2026. Now, let me say this now. From now and in the future, let's focus on spreading love. And if you want real love, if you go to Tobago, then make sure you get your ham done right.